What's up, everybody? Back here for episode 66 of the Pitside podcast. Got the regular crew back here again, and we have a great guest tonight coming off a spectacular finish down in Florida. A whole week of sprint car racing. Dylan Westbrook is going to join us tonight. So if you stay tuned, we'll get started in just a moment.
Welcome to the Pitside Podcast, where we discuss the latest news and developments in the Coast2Coast Racing League, as well as other racing news inside and out of iRacing. Here's your host, the A-Let Outlaw, Preston Cranmer, and Roger, the Bassman, Craig.
Yep, so we're back once again. I got Roger back here with me, and last week a little bit of a deviation. I had our teammate Terry Landis step in and fill the gap, and so Terry and I discussed while you were gone, and I know you had some stuff that was having to be taken care of. I think there was some bad weather, and you had to pick up your granddaughter.
Yes,
but I'm pretty sure you were watching for a race.
Yes, I was watching. There was a lot of it was a first time we've had family night. Thursday nights are usually family night. We have anybody in the family is welcome to come to dinner. We've had as many as 14. There's usually 9 or 10. All the grandkids almost always come. First time we've had one since before Christmas because of the whole COVID thing. Mm-hmm. So there was that, and then my granddaughter was supposed to go to dance, and then we got to pick her up around 10. But that actually got canceled. So, but you had already made your arrangements. I didn't want to really mess things up. Oh, and there was a race on Flow.
Just coincidence.
So, just coincidentally, yeah. So,
well, Terry did a good job filling in for you.
He did.
I probably didn't let him talk enough. That's the thing. Like, I think people don't realize, and our guests do a really good job about it, but you and I are used to each other kind of talking back and forth and when to fill a gap. And I knew Terry didn't know that. It was in the back of my head the whole time. Like, am I going to pause and Terry's just going to stare at me? And so I was just rattling it off the whole time. And so I didn't leave enough gaps to talk for him to talk, but we had a good time.
The thing that struck me was I don't think you've ever talked so much in any podcast. I usually dominate the conversation, so you're kind of hung out to dry there. But it was a good show. I watched it. I really enjoyed it, and I thought Terry did a great job. The only thing from a reporting point of view, I thought you missed it until you did catch it in the end. But what the hell is he doing in the desert with a sweatshirt on? Like that was what
he said. It was cold. He said he had to get in the house because it was cold.
You didn't address that, right? That as a good reporter, you should have been just asking that right away. What's going on, Terry? You're in the desert, Terry. You're complaining about the heat, and you got a bloody sweatshirt on.
That Terry's an odd duck. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles.
Yeah. Terry's a great guy. Yeah. So it was great to see him on. And thanks, Terry, for covering. I really appreciate it. But back in episode 66. First thing comes to mind, clickety click 66. My father-in-law, who used to play bingo after Christmas dinner or something, I think he was always the caller. There was always clickety click 66. So it just rang a bell. Sometimes memories come back to you, and it's just wonderful memory. So anyways, but so we got a great interview coming up for sure. I mean, talk about the hottest driver in sprint car racing right now. Seriously, I think other than one race where he ended up, he broke down, but he was P5 when he broke down. I don't think he's been out of the top 5. Never mind top 10. Oh, maybe one race. But yeah, it's just incredible. He's had an incredible start to the season. So our favorite Dylan Westbrook's going to be on tonight. So appreciate
and we won't keep you guys waiting too long.
No,
but we're really in kind of the thick of it. It's the last really 2 weeks of the season we've got left now, 1 or 2 depending on which divisions you're looking at, and so points battles are heating up and racing's been real good. I know you were mentioning the big block race from last week.
Big block race, Connor Ross and Logan Gill. They went at it, man, tooth and nail, trading slide jobs. It was awesome. And Andy and John were just did a great report on it. And I'm loving their show. I'm loving all the shows, but they're all so unique. But they're just, I think they're really knocking it out of the park these days. So I enjoy listening to their their banter. That's for sure.
I don't really know Logan. I think he probably focuses on the big blocks and stuff, so I don't run
Yeah.
into him very often. But
No.
Speaking of Connor, like, yeah, he was obviously kind of out for a while with his his personal race season and some things he had going on, and it has been very impressive to see him come back. And it's like he never missed a beat. Like I'm a guy, and there's lots of other guys in the league. You take a week off and you're rusty, but Connor is not rusty.
I thought Connor came back stronger than he'd ever been. Like he's dominated, like not dominated, but he's figuring in on every race he's in. And it's great to see. And Logan Gill, there's so many guys. I don't race on it's family night race, so don't typically race Thursday nights. But there's a lot of guys that run pretty much just dirt mods and pro lates. Like Logan Gill, we got to get him on the show. We got to get a few of these guys on the show and get to know these guys because we don't race around them very much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because we're a sprint car team, and so I predominantly only race sprint cars. At least the last half season, it's been all I've run. So,
but hey, this week we're running something special. It is Hall of Fame night. I gotta, I'm a little bit embarrassed. I got to blow my own horn here. But the 4 inductees to Hall of Fame each season this year, one inductee will get to pick a car and a track of his choice for their night. So this happens to be Roger Craig's inductee night. And truly, I don't want to make light of that. I'm honored to have that bestowed. But so I got to pick my car and track, and of course, hometown heroes. And let's get the street stocks out, fire them up, boys. We're gonna go 75 lap enduro. So by the time you see this, it'll have been over. But they're always belly laughs. And as I've been telling guys, if we get 50 guys show up, 50 guys start. So it's a great time.
I can tell you, I'll be there, and I'll have a special wrap going too. So
I'm just gonna have the old beer can going. The crumpled beer can. But that should be a great event for sure. So, and speaking of, the season winding down and championships, you and I both, buddy, are in a hunt for I'm not going to reach and grab it, but I got a chance to win that again.
Appreciate the restraint.
I got a chance to win that again, and you got a chance to win the Rebels division. You're right in that hunt. You've been in first place all season long, but will drop weeks affect you? It's going to be close, man.
Yeah, I've been counting on Shorty to he's been every Monday morning, or I should say Tuesday morning, he pops up. I might have mentioned that last week too. He pops up with the calculations of where we're at if you put the drop weeks in. And he wasn't quite as expedient this morning. And so once we looked at the results, I realized he had a pretty rough night and pretty much knew where he was at. So it wasn't as self-serving, I guess, but he still helped me out. We had some discussions about that. So I am still leading Rebels points. Frankly, I can't believe it. Randy Shreves has been a monster all season. There's been a handful of guys, Brenton, who wasn't there Monday, and I imagine that may have been because some of the bad luck he had the previous week. But he's been in it. I know Joe Halter's still got a shot. Chris Schaefer's got a shot. So it is not settled by any means. And I think we're just barely in the double digits as far as where we're actually separated.
Yeah.
So it's
Brendan Lacey, but I think it was his birthday.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so that would explain that. So I think I saw. In fact, I wish him a happy birthday. I just don't remember which day it was. But
yeah, I have to see if Randy can schedule his birthday sometime on Monday too. That might
like one of the next two.
Yeah, I'll just send him a happy birthday message next Monday and see if I can't convince him.
Yeah. Of course, the Monday Night League is a little bit different in that because the updates of Week 13 don't come out till Tuesday. We've and we had the charity race. So they will actually have 12 weeks. They will finish on Week 13. So you've actually got 3 more weeks of racing. So it's still some work to do there.
It should be just 2 weeks, right?
Well, we're in week...
This is week 11. So we have...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 more weeks.
Yeah, I think we have Limaland and...
Yes, Volusia.
And Volusia left, yeah.
Volusia, yeah. And Volusia is your favorite track, so there's no excuses here.
It was... the bull rings have really grown on me though. I don't always run them as well, but I love the racing there. It's always racy. if we get a good show without a lot of cautions, I think it's the best racing we put on.
I gotta say I absolutely hated bull rings, and I've grown to Lima Land is so wide.
Yeah.
It's there's some great. I think the Renegades went there one night, and it might have been caution free or one caution. It was just like an incredible race. So I'm getting used to them, and with the new season coming, and lots of exciting things coming for the new season. So you got to stay tuned. But the one thing, and we might as well talk about, like Hometown Heroes. I think the I-55 is going to get released, and from what Heinz says, that's kind of a bull ring. So
yeah, it's definitely a smaller track. I don't know if it runs quite like a bull ring does, where you got guys really diamonding in the corners, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I think.
Yeah, it might be, or more like a Cedar Lake maybe or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that should be if they do release it, week 13, all the races will be there to see. Okay, does it measure up? So that's and week 13 we'll be doing the Hawkeye qualifiers again. So amongst other things, and some big announcements coming, man. There's some new divisions that I think people will be excited about.
Oh, and this is not really league related, but I saw it today and didn't want to not mention it. But I did see that iRacing announced, if anybody's into the F1 stuff, iRacing announced their Grand Prix series. Now I think it only runs possibly one day a week. And there's only a few slots to choose from, but they're running a full 23 F1 season. Granted, they don't have all the F1 tracks, so they're substituting as they need to. But they're full race distances. You have to run multiple tire compounds. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it runs like on the weekend, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I think I'm planning to run the Saturday night, just before the F1 race Sunday morning, just to get pumped up. But anyway.
So we got a couple. We got to go because we want to bring Dylan on.
Yeah, for sure.
But a couple of things we do want to touch on. Was one today? I just read somewhere that Michael Andretti is going to buy his way into a Formula One team or enter a team or something.
Yeah, that's been a rumor for a couple of seasons. In fact, they thought, Haas has had a couple of really rough seasons. Really, 2 seasons ago was their last season of development because the new regulations were supposed to come out in 2021. So they paused development on their car, had an abysmal 2020 season, which everybody kind of knew was coming because they're a low-budget team. And then when the regulations got pushed back because of COVID, they had to do it again. So they were really running with the car that was about 2 years old. And with Nikita Mazepin coming in, a lot of people thought that his dad may try to buy the team because he's my money driver. Yeah. But there's been a lot of rumor going on that the Andrettis are trying to buy a team, but from all I've read, now granted, it's a lot of it's being kept quiet and some of it's being denied when it very likely could still be going on because they can't let negotiations get out. But that the negotiations have been stalled several times, so I don't know if that process will really occur, and it very likely could be contingent on if it is Haas that they're working on, may very well be based on how they develop the car for this season. So. We'll just have to wait and see. But, it'd be great to have the Andrettis back in F1.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
The other ones I just wanted to quickly touch on was the Xfinity race where that car lost the engine. The rear axle was flopping all over the place, and he walked away, and no fans were injured. If you watch the replay, like that fence really took a beating, but it did its job. That was absolutely stunning that he walked away from that in a relief. But and then the 500, it was the 500. There a train going around there and all that stuff. But the best one I saw today was a picture of Keselowski's car with a bulldozer blade on the front. So
I mean, really, I don't watch a lot of NASCAR. I did sit down and watch a good chunk of the 500 because hey, it's the 500. But
right.
So I don't have any guys that I really out and out dislike, but to see somebody consistently, and I mean, I was watching, it was really funny, I was kind of chit-chatting with Joe Backus during the race, and when I was able to catch some, and I told him, I had sent a message, I said, Keselowski is terrible at bump drafting, and not 30 seconds later, it may have been 5 seconds later, but not 30 seconds later, he spun, whoever the kid running for the Wood Brothers was,
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say Hunter Nemechek, but that's not right.
No.
Harrison Burton.
Harrison Burton.
So he spun Harrison Burton real early in the race, and Harrison Burton was fast. Now, granted, it's 500. Who knows where he is at the end of the race? And then he does it again to somebody else. I don't remember who it was at the end of the race. He just took somebody out, and you hate to see that. And somebody as experienced as he is should be better at that by now. It was really disappointing.
Yeah. Anyways, there's probably lots of stuff we could talk about, but we got a great interview here with Dylan. So good giving up his time. He's only home for a little bit, and very gracious to. As soon as I asked, would you come on? It was just like right away, yeah. So I want to thank him a lot, and wish him luck in the rest of the season. So there might be other nights where I'm not available or something, so we'll have to pick the night for the podcast.
For sure.
You'll have to check the ASCS schedule.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump over and talk to Dylan now. Before we do, though, I just want to remind everybody that we do have dues that are coming up. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, where that just to mention that's not covering everything at this point. Roger, do you want to mention that briefly? Just
yeah. So this is the second season now. We're doing sort of the budget, and I know I had a ton of iRacing credits, and there's no money left to do that. And that's okay. So the choices were we could raise it from 10, but I think I think we got some money in the kitty from on the sponsorship side. We'll cover it off. We don't want to raise it. A lot of people said we would fail when we went and introduced the $10 fee. We dropped from about 125 drivers to about 100. But right now we're at 150. Right. So much for it not working. It's working. I think guys love the mugs. Guys love the stickers, right? Everybody loves the stickers. Seriously, guys are really happy to get that stuff. And it all goes back to the drivers, but it doesn't cover it all. So, but you need to it's going to stay at $10, even though it doesn't cover everything. But make sure you get signed up for next season, because Bill loves nothing more than deleting guys. Even if he has to put them back in again, you don't mess with Bill. So you need to get that money in, and sooner than later, I guess. So we'll get that set up. So
yeah. So those links will be posted here again real shortly. And just the reason to bring that up is there is a deadline for that, so you're going to want to make sure you get that in sooner rather than later. But nonetheless, we've got to get over and talk to Dylan.
DW.
Yeah, it's a great interview, guys. Maybe one of our top. I'll be honest. I really enjoyed talking to Dylan, and he was an open book. So we'll jump over and talk to him now. We appreciate everybody watching again this week, and we'll be back here for episode 67 next week. Thanks, guys.
Drive safe. And we are here with one of the big stars from down south, just coming back from an absolutely amazing winter tour down there. Dylan Westbrook, 47X. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Great, man. You're finally home again after that awesome run that you had. Wonder if we could sort of go and review a little bit of that. First of all, next time you see Scotty at Flow Racing, you need to tell him he owes you a few beers. We got all sorts of guys in the league are subscribing just to follow you. So so he definitely owes you. But you went down to it's Needmore Speedway, right, where you started?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I wasn't clear on, and I missed the first night, shame on me, but I didn't even realize you were running that night. Those were 360s?
Yep, first two nights were 360s.
Okay, and the first night you finished P2?
Yeah.
Who beat you? Do you remember? That was a couple weeks ago now, but
yeah.
Okay, but then the next night I started watching. You had what a number of us run into at times, where one of those tires came out and grabbed you. You were in a heat. You were going to pass for second, and it was fairly dramatic. You did a wheelie. I think you did a 360 on two wheels, and unfortunately, you kind of gently rolled over on your side.
Yeah, that it got a little exciting there for a minute.
Yeah. So, but you came back for the feature, started P20th. And this is one of the things I've always talked about is, some of the brightest moments for some people are not necessarily being on the podium. You went from 20th to P5, and you were, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 laps left, and the right front went down. But that was an awesome run, man.
Yeah, it was really good. even the first night, just the first night back out racing to go out there, get another good run, just so it felt good. And second night was feeling even better, but I just made a mistake, hit that track infield tire. But yeah, me and the crew got it all fixed up, ready for the feature. Started pretty deep, so just kind of figured it out, go out there, learn, try some different setup stuff, and see how it works. But yeah, started moving up really fast, got up to fifth. Then we had a yeah, not a real long red, but red. So must have been a little bit of a hole in the tire or something, and it started to go down. I didn't really even notice until it went to the corner, and then all of a sudden the right front popped off the bead. So I don't know, we were still real fast, so we're moving up really good. Just a little bit of bad luck that night.
Yeah, that was. I'm trying to remember. I think Grandma and Grandpa were here that night, and we were all a little bit disappointed when it came up short. But it was a phenomenal run. We are all in agreement with that.
Now, was this your first time at Needmore?
Yep, first ever time there.
Yeah, that's pretty good to travel all that way and run that well.
Yeah, never seen the track before, but it was pretty racy actually. It had like top groove, bottom groove, and could slide guys, and yeah, we just kind of did it. Well, we were kind of just thinking, well, it's kind of on our way to Florida, might as well for the extra, just pretty much 2 or 3 days, go down there and hit some races on the way.
Yep, good tune-ups.
Yes.
So next on the list was getting down to East Bay. I think one thing, in reviewing this whole performance you had down there was preparation. I'm sure that those cars, you had all winter to work on them, and you've got such a great crew. Those cars were well prepped before you got there, and it certainly paid dividends.
Oh yeah, they've Steve, he was working real hard all winter working on that thing, getting it all ready, and yeah, went out there and it worked. It worked awesome. Everything was all ready to go. The car ran awesome. So yeah, huge help with the crew there for sure. Just getting everything ready and all dialed in. Makes it a lot easier for me. Just kind of got to get in and drive the thing.
Yeah, well, drive it you did. Now we go down to East Bay, and I've got pictures, and Preston, I might send one to you, and maybe you can insert it somewhere along the line.
Sure.
But when Dylan was down at East Bay in his micro sprint, so he's been down there for probably 5 or 6 years. You've been going down to East Bay, something like that, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I think 5 or 6 years. I know I just got some memories that popped up on Facebook saying, I think it was either 5 or 6, and yeah. I know every year around this time, get all the memories from all the other years, and
those pop up with me, and I'm just, they're sad that I'm not down there, to cheer you on and getting some of that warm weather. But so, anyways, we go to East Bay in a 410. Now, how many times have you driven a 410 before? I know you have been in a 410. How many times?
I think that was about my 6th and 7th time. I think I'm not 100% sure, but it's been under 10, not for sure.
So, and now we're talking all-star circuit of champions. We're talking all the big names, and they're all down there, man. And so it's basically is that your 360 with a 410 in it?
Yep. Yeah. After you ran out of Needmore Speedway, just pulled that engine out, put the 410 in. Just had to change a little bit of the fuel system, and you got to run like front axle tethers. With the All-Stars also.
So first it was a 3-night, no, that was a 2-night deal.
Yeah.
First night, P12. And that was like, I'm thinking, that's awesome right there, man. And, but then the next night, and it was kind of cool. Your grandma was having trouble getting flow up. It was a password issue, which drives me nuts. But so they came down. So we got to watch that together the next night, and take us through that race. That was just that was an incredible race.
Yeah, first night just from not racing 410s that much, we're not 100% sure on setup and everything. We got like a good idea, but you never know for sure until you actually go there and do it. So did that, felt pretty comfortable, learned some stuff. So second night, made a few adjustments, went out there, and then just kind of getting used to the track again also. But yeah, it went really good. Went out there for heat, moved up a bit, dash moved up a bit, and then in the feature started fourth, and kind of almost messed up the first lap a little bit, but got it all back and started rolling really good around there. Yeah, it felt awesome. I felt really comfortable, and for a minute there, I almost in shock. Like I'm front and second, we're getting up to lap traffic, and I'm catching the leader. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna actually have a chance to win this thing.
Yeah. You certainly did. It was just that, if lap traffic would have gone the right way for you or whatever, it could have been a different outcome. It was absolutely outstanding, and I think your interview, I think you were as not shocked or surprised, but just elated about that. That was you knew yourself what you had done. That was an amazing run, man, and you put your name out there for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was just pretty much speechless. I was really hoping I'd do well, kind of not really expected, but I don't even know what the word is for. Just really wanted to do good there, and just for me and the crew and all Hills Racing and everything. So to actually go out there and pull it off, it really meant a lot.
So, and we should mention that Hills Racing overall had a great week down there.
Yeah, it was especially, I forget what night it was now, but the one night when me, Sean, and Sam all were just lucky enough to be in different heat races.
Yeah.
Just having 3 cars there. Normally, just end up with all 3 cars in the same heat. But,
That's how it goes.
Yeah, but to go out there and everyone win their heat, that was really cool. Just for the whole Hills team, just you kind of see how fast and competitive the whole team is.
So when you're lining up for these races, and there is at least as far as sprint car racing goes, there's some household names, and some big names, kind of like Roger said. Are there little extra butterflies, or are you strap in business as usual?
Definitely a little bit of butterflies, a little bit more normal. Just lining up against those guys, just I think they're the best of the best. So just to be able to race with them and then even beat some of them, it's just a real confidence booster on my part.
For sure, and it's deserved.
And Preston, I remember being down at East Bay a few years ago, and for the 360s, and Dylan was beating Tony Stewart. So I mean, he's been around some big names. Well, that was exciting. I remember that night, and that was earlier in your career. But so if we move on to the Winter Nationals, so the 360s, it was a 3-night event. For me, it was really, really cool. I really missed being down there. One of the coolest things was your dad was with you. First time in 2 years he's been actually out with the races, and your dad had never missed one of your races up until you went south a couple of years ago during the COVID thing. How cool was that to have Dad down there?
That was really cool. Have him back at a race. Yeah, just like you were saying, he's never missed a race up until COVID all started happening. So to go from him being at every race to him not being at one for just about 2 years, it was definitely nice for him to be back there. Kind of just more just almost fun, just him being there, hanging out, for having almost like a little bit of a holiday, I guess, but still out racing and having fun.
Well, the funniest thing was after I think it was that 410 race, and he was talking to your grandma and grandpa, and first thing he was talking about was, we were saying, what a great race. Yeah, but he almost blew it on that first lap. Always throwing the dig. So I'm sure you guys had
humble.
Got it. Oh, yeah. It was. I'm sure you guys had a blast down there for sure. And what was really refreshing to me was for the 360s, Glenn Stiers being down there, a former Winter Nationals champion. Sean Evans, we mentioned him. Kudos to Sean. Sean put on, I thought, I think that's his first time down there, and I thought Sean really represented well and put it on. He made the big show, I think, on night 2, was it, or night 1?
Night, what was that now? Night 1. Night 1.
Yeah, night 1. So he did well. Liam Martin was down there, and I almost, I felt for the kid. He was one of the B mains. He was starting on P1, and the car wouldn't fire. and what a heartbreaker, because he had a real shot at getting in there. And Sam Heffertape, of course, was down there with you guys. Jacob Dykstra was down from Ashweekend. It was a lot of representation from Canada, but it was and Ashweekend. So Dan Nanakoke too. Of course, Dan's been down there before. So it was great seeing all of you guys down there running. But yeah, every night you made the feature, and the championship or final night, whatever you want to call it, it was on points. The top 6 got in, didn't have to run, and Dylan Westbrook made the top 6. I wasn't impressed with the number you drew for the start, but other than that, it was all good.
Yeah, that's I've never really been too good at drawing. if I had to draw a high number, I'd be your guy.
The funniest thing, Preston, was T-Mac was the first to go, and he let was it Reitzel? I think he let draw for him.
Yeah,
Reitzel pulled 6.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. So how is it rubbing shoulders with those guys and stuff?
Yeah, it's really cool. Just like all those guys, they've definitely won a ton of races. All really good racers, and yeah, just kind of be there, racing with them, kind of being on their level. It's cool, that's for sure.
So it was just what a fabulous start. I think you finished P4 the first night, P5 in the feature second night, and another P2 in the final. No, wait, what did you finish in the final? It wasn't. It was
fifth.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So a great performance overall, man. That was so cool to see. I just wish so much I was down there, but. I got a couple of questions for you here, though. And maybe before we do that, though, you are at home, but it's your new home. Your dad, over the winter, bought a new place. It includes a bit of a garage. Could you take us on a bit of a tour of this little garage that you've got now?
Oh, yeah.
So
a little bit dirty right now, but yeah, we're getting some hoists put in. Just need to pour the floor a little bit thicker there, but yeah, and then we'll have 2 hoists to work on vehicles and stuff while we're here. So,
and you said there's 2 snowmobiles out getting repaired or something, or?
Yep, got some snowmobiles getting worked on. A pickup truck there doing some work. So,
and that's Dad down there, right?
Yep, he's down there, just standing around.
Hey, Dad, how you doing? Just ignoring me. Hey, could you show us your micro sprint? Oh,
yep.
There's the meeting room, I guess, eh?
Oh yeah, that's the meeting room, TV.
This is cool. I got to get up there to see this. This is so cool.
I can tell you, my dad is so jealous right now. It's not even funny.
So this is Dylan's micro sprint that I'm going to send you a picture of this. So he was down at East Bay with that, I think 6 years ago. So when's the last time you drove that, Dylan? Wasn't it at Weedsport?
I'm not even sure what the last race would have been.
I thought there was one year, maybe when you're running the 360s and you had one weekend off and you took this and ran it down the States somewhere. But is that drivable? Will that fire up?
Oh yeah, I think the battery's dead right now, but other than that, yeah.
Other than that, it's rock and roll, ready to go. That's cool, man. That is so cool. And a few of the racing suits and
yeah, that old dirt bike that I used to race.
Is that the one where you broke your collarbone or whatever it was?
Yeah, that's the one I got hurt on.
So that's wicked. How about the trophies? Where's the trophies? They there or they're
over at the farm.
Grandpa's garden knows in that garage, I guess. Yeah. So geez, I had a question here and I forgot what it was now. But anyways, I do have another question for you because I downloaded the ASCS schedule. You're going to be down in Texas in a few weeks, March 18th or something like that. Is it?
Yep.
Kevin Fry will be coming over to say hi. He was the ASCS director, a proud member of a Coast2Coast Racing League. But I noticed I downloaded Ashweekan's schedule too. You are going to be Knoxville, August 2nd, 4th, and 5th, I think it is.
Yep.
Not all that far from home compared to the rest of the tracks you race at. And interestingly, the next date on the schedule is August 26th. Now, on August 15th, it's real cool season. There's 3 Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, one for each of the last 2 years that we missed. But on August 15th, there's a Canadian Sprint Car National paying $10,000 to win. Any chance?
I think there's a pretty good chance. Nothing's 100%, but I bet you. We're gonna try to make it work.
That would be absolutely awesome. For you to come back and show the boys what you can do back at your home track. I'm embarrassed that so Dylan's making the tour right now after his performance. He was on Rivals Race Chat just before this show. And Preston, where did you say he was going tomorrow?
I believe it's Good Morning America.
Yeah. So he'll probably be on some of the talk shows after this. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm really excited to see if that'll happen. So
do you think you'll see some of the other, with the big gap in the schedule, that you'll see a lot of the ASCS guys travel up there for that event? Or is it just too far?
I don't really know if it's even that far. I know a bunch of them, I don't think they've ever been to Canada. Like, some of them, they don't even have passports and stuff like that, just because. Yeah. But no, I keep on talking to some of them, try to convince some of them, you got to come up here. And I know some of them, they've seen videos of the track at Ashweegan and stuff, and they definitely want to. So if it worked out, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of them would come up.
That's cool.
So a big shout out to, before we go, to Steve Moulton. Steve's been with you. Your dad hasn't been there, but Steve, he was on your crew back here in Canada, and he's been with you. I guess I got to be careful how I say this, but he's not your bed partner, but I guess you guys share the same toter home together. If I'm not mistaken,
that's what we call cellmate.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But a big shout out to Steve, because Steve, I know, he's got those cars just ripping, man, and it's just so great to see. And what about Julia? So Julia's sort of she's been this is Dylan's girlfriend, and is she a registered nurse now? She's been is she a full blown nurse, or I know she was in college for that.
Yeah, that's registered nurse.
Yeah. So that's cool, and she's carving out her career there. And for the folks that haven't been to Ashweekan, Julia and a couple of the other drivers, significant others, they used to run the kids program and just did an absolutely awesome job. I mean, those kids are treated like gold. I think didn't they get in a bus one time and go into the pits or something? I don't know. There's coloring books.
They had a school bus that loaded them all up and drove them around the pits and showed them the track and all the pits and drivers and everything. Yeah.
Ashweekan is just such a fantastic setup with that. But yeah, kudos to Julia, and I'm sure you're glad to be home for a while. And I think I heard on Rivals that you'll be coming back home again after about a month of racing or something.
Yeah, that's I have to look at the schedule again and know the exact date, but there is a decent amount of openings this year with a gap. Might have a week or two off here and there. So either if we don't drive the whole hauler home, could definitely just hop on a plane and fly home for a little bit. Especially now with the borders slowly getting a little bit easier, I guess just back to normal to go back and forth.
Yeah, that's super, because you're pretty much isolated all of last season, and there was no skipping back and kind of getting back to your roots and all that sort of stuff. Hey, I got a question for you. I was looking, your grandpa and I were down here after the race the other night, and I was showing him Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, I had to show him my butt kicker on my seat and let him drive a bit. But then we got into Microsoft Flight Simulator, trying to fly over the farm. But on Google Maps, you can see the track that you had at the back. But it looked like an oval. Did you ever have an oval track back there, or was it just the motocross track?
We had the dirt bike track, then we made a little oval go-kart track.
And you spotted that in Microsoft Flight Simulator?
No, we couldn't even. I'm embarrassed. We found the garage. We found that's not too far from the farm, but Ted and I had a bit of a problem finding the farm, which is like half a mile away. So, anyways, I ended up landing in the bushes and the trees somewhere nearby. So it's, but then we were looking on Google just to kind of get the coordinates, and I saw that the track. I mean, I've been out in the back. I think your grandpa plowed that motocross. I don't know if you just wanted to grow more corn or what was going on there, but it was in Google Maps. If you go on, you can see there's an oval there, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, so Preston's about to embark on his racing career. He's got a go-kart out in the shed there, and he's going to start his rookie season. So it's we're all looking forward to the reports on that. But hey, before we let you go, we got to announce that next season's coming up. Dylan Westbrook Racing's still going to be a sponsor of our A division Renegades. We appreciate all that partnership, but these are available in the speed shop. All the Dylan Westbrook Racing stuff. We got the Dylan Westbrook hats here, and so
pulling those out of inventory.
Yeah. So have you got any new shirts and stuff? Is there stuff in the works? What's happening there?
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's kind of what I'm gonna do this week. Kind of get some shirts and everything, all some previews made up, and then get those getting made just for this upcoming season. Have them at the track and at home also.
Yeah. So you didn't have it much down on the track last season, I don't think, did you? With you?
No. Just no. I just pretty much got them made at home just to have them there. So then just kind of last year, just the season just being a little bit messed up with COVID and stuff. So this year have everything all have everything, t-shirts, sweaters, and all that, and have it all stocked up and ready to go.
So does that mean this season when you're getting interviewed by Scotty, you'll be saying that there'll be t-shirts back at the I'm trying, who's the young guy? Tim's.
Yep.
Was it Ryan Timms was always pushing the shirts? I was thinking that's where he probably got that. That was his cut of the money, was the shirt sale, because he pushed it every race. But just want to thank you for coming on. And again, anybody wants any kind of Dylan Westbrook paraphernalia, go to our website. We're in the process of Preston's in the process of updating that. And when you get that artwork, Dylan, you have to get it over to us so we can get some stuff uploaded on the website and start pushing all your merch and boost those sales and boost all your winnings and everything else. But congratulations on a great start to the season, and can't wait to see what you do. And for anybody out there, it's all on Flow. I think almost every race that you race this season will be on Flow. So we already got a few guys that are totally hooked on it, and it's it should be exciting. So thanks again, buddy. Thanks for taking this time out. I know that you're only home for a little while, and appreciate you taking this time. And hopefully I'll catch you before you head south. So good luck, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
We'll be pulling for you.
Yeah, for sure. The whole league's pulling for you, man.
Yep.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, thanks. See you guys later.